Street talk. Streetz is talking this shit.
I'm tuned in right now to Street Talk, my man Streetz. Street Talk, man, he got that fire.
Make sure y'all get on YouTube right now. YouTube and look up Street Talk.
Make sure y'all tune in.
Stay tuned. Heat.
Yeah, just tune the fuck in.
So we got some shit to talk about. Welcome to Street Talk. Well, if you love us, we love you. If you hate us, we still love you. But fuck you though. I'm Streetz. Coming to join me is my boy. One of the nicest, hard-working rappers there is out of the town. He more than a rapper. He got his video shit going. All out hustler. Said the only person that I could think of at the top of my head when the verses was popping that got enough shit to go with your boy. Q.D.C.
What's good, bro?
How you?
I'm good, brother. Shit, hanging in there, you don't know.
Alright, thank you for coming, come holler at me. So we're gonna start this off by introducing yourself to the people.
I'm Q.D.C. I was born and raised. Where you want me to start from? Right there.
Wherever you want to start
Yeah,
at.
born and raised, Southside Syracuse. Started rapping when I was a little young. Yeah, I don't know, still.
So, where do we want to start in that? I guess, shit, I know you for so long. I know you when you, like, before you really started taking off type shit, when you was just front of Sabs and shit, know what I mean? But I definitely watch you take off, nigga. But, so, One Face. You wanna talk about that?
Yeah, One Face, like, One Face started a minute back, like, it was kind of like before, like, cause we had, it was 4 of us. It was me, it was 730, Quiz and Hawk. But before that, One Face was just, it started with like me, Junior, and my rest in peace, and my boy Ray Vaughn. We started with that, and then it was just like, okay, it was like, I remember how that shit went, how we made it up. I was who the fuck was one? It was like 3 of us that made One Face. So it was just like Ray Vaughn was One Face. I think I was 2 Face, and Junie Marcus, he was 3 Face, and that's how that shit went. That's how that really started and shit. And after that, it wasn't like, it kind of wasn't really rapping like that around like 07, 08, and that's when I started like with Hawk, Trey and them and Quiz, like, cause they was always around the way. So, and they big brother, rest in peace, Baby Boy. That's who like, that's who like really got us going with the one, like, like really got us bonded like that, and that's how we started taking off like that. So that's how we started. But we started off from them buildings, man.
Alright, so how did it feel, and how do you think it impacted you being the face of that since a young age?
I mean, it felt good. And it's like seeing, like, sometimes when you're in the moment, you don't really notice your impact you doing, because like the work you putting in, or like how, like, for me, I wasn't really taking it serious, so it was just like, okay, we knew we had it, but it was just like, but I seen a lot of people on me, like, and that's what kind of made me go harder. Like, okay, I gotta do this for real.
I remember when I first started seeing it, because it's like, I'd be driving down the way somewhere, and I hear motherfuckers playing your shit, or they'd be at a cookout and some shit. It was the summer, nigga. You had shit on lock. I'm like, okay.
I remember that.
Definitely. So, as far as the One Face thing, how is it now? Is it still intact, or is it more just you?
It's not. It's kind of like, I would say, like, it's not like One Face. We still like, like, it ain't the same no more. So it's just like, I'm not really into like the music thing no more. Like One Face, we really not making any music right now. So everybody doing their own little thing. So that's how that's going right now. But we still locked in. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's an up and coming generation coming up where I'm trying to pave the way for them now. Like, okay, y'all gotta take this serious. So One Face still around, but it's just like, it's under the work. So it's just like, we just gotta get it going, spark that fire, because there's a lot of stuff going on right now.
You say that like Shit, I'm older than you. You paving the way for the youth. You don't think you still got a lane that you can make for yourself?
I think it's bigger. Like I look at it like it's bigger than music with me. Like I know I can make the music, but it's just more so like when I jump on this production side, it's just like I see a whole different side to it. So it's just like I know I gotta if I do music, I gotta take it serious. Right. So I kind of like I fall back from the music shit to be like, all right, I know. If I do this, I know I gotta work hard. I know I gotta be in the studio every day. I know I gotta be on social media. I know I gotta and it just be like when you find other ways to make money. That's like when my whole purpose. I'm always had passion for music. I feel like I can see me making music like once in a while, like dropping tracks, like dropping a mixtape every 2 years and being like on some shit like, and my real fans gonna fuck with me.
That's so. There's two things from that. First, by you saying that. We was talking about Joe Budden and Lil Yachty earlier. Yeah. And you were saying how you found other ways you can make your money, so it's like you don't really want to put up with the hassle so much. So in that retrospect, we can't really be mad at the young niggas that just come in and do that shit and they eat and leave. But when you really are passionate about that shit, it's different. It take a whole different toll on you. Like
it do.
Shit ain't easy. You constantly like I know one thing I gotta stop doing. As soon as I put shit up, I'm constantly looking to see like the views, the likes, and shit like that. Yeah. I shouldn't just let that shit sit because it's gonna be what the fuck it's gonna be. Right. But I overanalyze everything though. Everything is like a, cause you really do it. That shit like you were saying, it take like you learn what days is best to fucking post on, what time of day, what type of shit. You gotta put all of that shit into you. But yeah, so damn, where was I going with that? So. I hate when that always happens to me. I'm trying to fucking go.
Now you cool. Cool, really?
But you said that you fell back basically because you doing that. So okay. The other thing that I was gonna say to that is, with me, I don't want to be on a superstar level. Like, not saying that I wouldn't accept it if the shit came, but what I really want to do is be able to create and freely create. So, and what that means having the means, so I'll have to get paid off what the fuck I do. But I want to be able to have the means to create freely and know that when I'm creating, it's going to a fan base.
Right.
But Hannibal Buress was on Steve-O podcast, and I don't know, I fuck with Steve-O from Jackass, that's my boy. But Hannibal Buress, he doesn't do stand-up comedy no more. He raps. Yeah. You know who Hannibal Buress is?
Nah.
He's he's
the nigga that got Bill Cosby locked up.
Yeah, he basically did get Bill Cosby locked up. But he a little dark-skinned dude. He wore glasses, and he was just like...
That nigga, he like a younger or older?
He older. He a comedian. I don't know if you ever see the Eric Andre show. Probably not. But anyway, so the point with that is that he started rapping, but he's not really doing stand-up like that. And some of his music is satirical, so some of it is funny, but he was like, he wants to do that because he can be funny or he can be serious whenever way that he wants to. And he was like, yeah, Hannibal Buress is, because he changed his name when he rapped, but he was like, that's with the name that they know, so that's the comedy aspect. And if I ever need I need some money, I know that I can go count on that. Somebody gonna call me to do a movie, And he was like, but when they call me, I'm like, I'm just gonna do music, and then I might give some like strong expose in between that's like comedy type shit, but I'm not really trying to do that. But then Steve-O was like, well, why don't you just marry it all together? And he's like, just give them a show. And that shit stuck with me. It's like, my ultimate dream really is to be people to come see me for what I am. Like, I can give you a whole fucking, like, I can podcast, I can interview, I can fucking rap, I can do all this other shit, and then just don't come see and want, like, but when we was growing up, it was like we was boxed. I said it all the time. You had to be, if you was a rapper, you was just a fucking rapper. Especially if you was nice. It's like, nigga, you an MC. What the fuck you doing making beats? What the fuck you doing this, nigga? You rap. Like, yeah, for real. That's how they had you. Like, so definitely glad that you didn't get pigeonholed in that, because I know a lot of people that I talk to and a lot of people I see, you definitely are one of the the elite.
Appreciate that, man. For real,
Give you
appreciate
flowers
that.
on that.
Appreciate that. I know it's certain motherfuckers, you know, only on that. Like I feel like only on that type of level too. It's not throwing shade at nobody. It's just like an art. I look at music like an art, and it's just like a lot of people could make songs. A lot of people can't. You know, just like. But what I'm saying, people still listen. What I'm saying, like what I mean, like it's just like everybody got a different view on your music. Saying like, you know what type of I like certain music, but it's just like it's not like I don't listen to the newer music nowadays. I got a few new artists that's in the new era that I listen to. So, but
Who your favorite artist that's out right now in the new era?
I don't really got no it's like I don't really got no favorite artists. It'd be more like favorite songs. Like I listen to like Polo G. I listen to y'all hit that a couple times. I listen to Lil Baby. It's a couple heads I really lock in, but it's like I don't really listen to too much. I'm the type to probably play the same old songs over and over. It's like I don't really like getting used to new music. Like I don't really got it here, but if it's fire, it's gonna come to me. So it be so much fucking music, shit. Like it's like my memory be kind of blurry until I start hearing this shit. Like yeah, I remember this song.
Well, I mean, you rolling?
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, it's just albums that get breezed by because we consume so much albums at once now. We got so much that come out at one time. So shit can't even be classic. It be so much classic shit that be getting looked over. And I be trying to make sure I keep going back to that shit. But some other shit come out, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. You like so much you keep up with. It's coming.
I don't know. I feel like, and I asked these girls at the bar the other day, and I'm like, they was young. I knew they was young, so I'm like y'all 12, right? And then they're like, oh, and they're like, no, we not no fucking 12, but they couldn't have been more than 23, like some shit like that. So I'm like, so in y'all opinion, who's the greatest rapper alive? And one of them said Lil Wayne, and I'm like, okay, you know, I can't fault you for that. I can't. And then somebody else, they said Little Baby, but then I had to say the criteria, but I did realize that Little Baby is the younger generation.
Yeah.
And he do be going
off.
off.
Some shit with him, like.
But if you ask me, who's the GOAT, I would have to say, I can't.
Yeah, I mean, a lot.
Because not even, but I'm gonna say it not even in the aspect of lyricism. Even though Hov deliver every time, but from where he was to what he became, like he is the prototype of a rapper to me.
Right,
I mean, like he don't, like he went from being in Marcy Projects to rapping to not having to rap unless he want to. You know what I mean? Married the bad chick in the game, whether it was stage, whether it was not.
It's how we'll never know, but I see what you're saying. Like, it's crazy because I when I was growing up, I remember my sister on baby father. I used to like the Blueprint. I was like 12 years old listening to the Blueprint, knew that shit word for word, and it was just like I was always fucking with Hov. It was more so I was like a Tupac fan though.
I was a Biggie fan. I feel like Pac was definitely a better artist all around, but as far as rapping, I feel like Biggie had that shit on lock.
Yeah, I would say like far as like the all around I would listen be like the artistry, like far as like as the artist man, because I feel like Biggie was more like stronger in that way of structuring his word, like far as how he spit and how he like and how he was like how he freestyled, and it was just more so like hell yeah, that's a match right there. But as like a whole artist and the influence, I feel like it was just Pac.
The crazy thing about them two is that when I think about Biggie and Pac, 'cause Biggie is my favorite rapper, and it goes. I say my 3 favorite rappers. I'm gonna have to say 5. I can't say 3. I'm gonna have to say it's Biggie, Jay-Z, Jadakiss, Fab, and Joe Budden. Even though Joe did some fuck shit that gets on my nerves right now with his podcast, and I ain't really feeling him. But I still go back to some of his older music that fucking resonates. But it's like their impact, like Biggie wasn't like, we lived past them. We're older than them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're immortalizing people who weren't really like we got to see more than, even though they can't. People say that some flames come when they burn bright, but they flicker out faster. So it's like, you know what I mean? So like some people are coming to this world that make their impact and leave young, and that's what they was here for.
Really did, yeah. For real.
But Biggie, like, I can really see, like, how can I put it? Biggie and Tupac, to me, were on a thing of like Malcolm X and fucking Martin Luther King. Not what they represented, but just in the fact that you probably not going to see two men like them again.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they came and they did what they.
Yeah, you're right. Left an impact as a kid, and you always know them. Like as you get older, you realize how young they was when they passed. You be like, oh shit.
Cause if you think about certain shit that they did, or you think about like that was fucking dumb. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have did that shit. But when you was younger and they was coming like, oh okay, look, Pac was a gangster. Pac was like, nah. Pac was an intelligent motherfucker who got caught up in some bullshit. As far as music goes, and we was talking about how, like, I know me and you are two artists who more so make music that's personal to us. And I was just saying how Biggie and Pac, they more so, they didn't fabricate, but they fudged little shit here and there as most rappers do. But would you say that your music is more than 80% factual?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I would too.
You know, yeah. I feel like that's what keep. I don't know. It's just like I was never one of them rappers. Just like even pay attention to like how like I let other motherfuckers critique my shit. I mean, criticize my shit and be like, all right, Q spit like this, and just always sum it up. But I always just spit whatever came from his chest.
Cause I literally feel like if you live my life, I mean you walk with me on the daily, and then you hear my music, it'll resonate more. You ain't gonna be around me and be like, oh, this nigga, you know what I mean? This nigga ain't nothing like that. This nigga a whole Tekashi 6ix9ine created character out of this nigga. Like, nah, that's not what you gonna get from me. That's a whole like, but there's a lot. But in this day, like my boy, he's adamant about today. You don't have, like, he say you don't have, like, he has plans on making an album into which he's like, I'm just gonna make a character. Yeah. Because like you can. Yeah. like you really can. I just can't do that. And what I do feel like I should do, and I should have done when I was younger, is I was watching Tekashi, Triple X. I was watching his documentary, and he was basically saying like nobody, like, what's his name? His real name? Jase. Yeah, he said nobody gave a fuck about Jase, but everybody loves Triple X. And he was like, I have my traits, and I just linked more into that character. Like, he was already a crazy, bipolar, violent motherfucker, so he like, alright, I'm already violent, I'm about to start filming when I beat niggas' asses. I'm having, and then that shit went viral from him, and it actually did help his fucking music type shit, but that that shit just weird. But he knew, he always admitted that he was feeding into a character more. And I felt like I could have been Streetz more a little bit when I was younger. Like, cause the one thing about me that I feel is a detriment to me, it helps my creative process, but as far as being competitive, it hurts is that my drive used to be competition. I hear a motherfucker spit some shit, especially from the town, and it's like, they do some, I got it, but now it's like everybody has their own fucking lane. Like, that's how I think now. It's like I'm competing with me. Like, I gotta sound better than I did before. I gotta find a different angle, a different pocket. I can't sound like my other self. I can't. But that's helped create creatively, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not thinking about nobody else.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And I've never been like that before.
Yeah.
Like, I've always been competitive. It's always been like, okay, I gotta get up. I gotta go. Even you, I'm like, this nigga, man, I gotta, okay, if I don't step my shit up, I'm gonna be left behind. You know what I'm saying? Like,
everybody for real, man. You gotta be the best version of yourself.
But now I just love watching motherfuckers. I just love like, oh, what this motherfucker gonna do? What can they? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like people in the town is talented. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. As much dumb shit as y'all like to say, as much fun as not everybody. There's some trash niggas too. But there's a lot of motherfuckers that if y'all put us top against another town, we eat their goddamn food. I'm just saying that.
Real.
But yeah, so but now, like we was talking about doing a Crime Street reunion album. But I'm like, Crime Street broke up in 2008, nigga. I ain't even it was Memorial Day.
But I remember Crime Street too. But I remember when y'all was popping too.
But I was the youngest in that shit. Like I kind of let it a little bit once I started learning what was what, and but at first I kind of was in the back burner. I used to watch these niggas record, and they tell me I wasn't ready. Then I got ready, and I still wasn't. Yeah, I was just on a couple songs, but then I took that bitch over. Like
rookie of the year.
Yeah. So, I learned a lot from that shit. But I told them, said like, if we do this shit, it can't sound like 2008 Crime Street, and that's something that I noticed from the music that you was playing for me is that like how you can transition into like, but you're younger than me, so it's easier for you to do it. But I'm at that weird middle spot. Like I'm not the old nigga and I'm not the young nigga, but I'm directly in between that shit. But I try to balance that shit as best as I can, cause shit ain't the same. Like Cassidy. Like you see how they be clowning Cassidy for the way that he be doing shit. Like 10 years ago, niggas loved the way Cassidy put his shit, but that shit do be sounding crazy now. When Cassidy be saying certain shit, they be like, all right. Yeah. And then Cassidy be looking like, where the response at? Like nigga, it's not 2000. You know what I mean?
It's a whole different time.
Yeah, you gotta step that shit up. You gotta find a way to blend you into that shit. Like Fab did that shit seamlessly to me. Fab done been through every fucking...
Yeah, Fab, like, he like... I look at him like, I feel like a lot of people won't admit it, but I feel like he up there, even though he lost, I look at Fab like somebody on top, on that level with Kiss.
Yeah. That's why Kiss did the fucking album with him, the Freddie vs. Jason. He would've just did that shit with any motherfucking that nigga Fab. There's a lot of niggas, but... You watch the BET Awards? That was definitely... There was a lot of good moments in that shit for me. Like, a lot of first performances. Like, I be watching shit like that. Because you can... As a performer, you can see shit differently than the average person. You see a motherfucking nervous. You can see that how that... But Lotto, that was her first time performing that. She killed that shit. She brought it out.
She looked nervous on it.
You can tell. But I'm always... People tell me that they can't tell, but... From the moment I'm walking up to the stage, I get the mic, and then I say, yo, that's when that shit melted off. I'm nervous all the way up in there. When that beat dropped and that shit, that shit melted off. And then it's just like...
You know when you did this shit, like, man, I'm confident as fuck. I know I'm nice, and you still be nervous, butterfly. Right.
But that shit is just like, how they gonna receive? That really is a drug to me. Performing, like, that's something different. I would consider myself... Especially now. When I was younger, I was a rapper that would, I'll rap in a fucking cipher, which they don't have no more, or you rap? Let's spit, da 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 da. Like, I don't even remember half my shit now. Like,
it really be like that.
So I'm a studio rapper. I like to make some shit, and then I loved how it comes out once it's done. Once my painting, like, I'm writing, I'm getting my colors ready. Then recording is I'm putting that shit on the shit because it's like, what sound am I ad lib, da 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 da.
So like an art.
Yeah, then I hear how that finished product is, and I love that. But running close is fucking performing. I love fucking performing. It's different. This shit is different. It's like, especially when you know that you got the fucking crowd, like that shit just feel.
Making eye contact and seeing everybody's on dog. I remember performing, motherfuckers be quiet as shit. Then I'm like, damn, what the fuck I'm doing? And I realized, oh, niggas is really listening. Just zoned out, like you controlling the crowd, and you got that shit just build confidence up. Then you get better as you go on stage, like shit.
My cousin will tell you, cousin Roddy, we always talk about that shit. It's like one of the highlights of my whole shit. Nigga, I was in Manhattan, and I went in the middle of the stage, and I was like, and I did like, it never made sense to me not to serve consistently. Your clientele is history, and you're claiming the mystery. But I did that shit like that, and everybody in the crowd, they was following my damn hands. It was like, so that's why you see motherfuckers, once they can't get on stage no more and they do all that shit, that's why they go get high and fucking kill themselves out there. Like, that should be fucking addictive, man. But so shit. Did you see the thing today that they was talking about? I mean, yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think they've been talking about that shit for like 2 days. Where the father didn't bring the other kid McDonald's.
Oh, y'all seen it.
So how you feel about that?
Bro, I don't even, honestly, I look at it like, the way they painting is different how they painting it. First off, I look at it from the point, like, for recording it, I ain't agree with that, but in reality, he don't gotta get nothing to them kids. I think he don't gotta get nothing to them kids, right? But as a man, like, and then, like, if you knowing that the kids in there, my mindset, I'm gonna be like, alright, fuck it. I'm gonna bring something for the kid, like give him a box of pizza, but you can't be mad at him for not doing it, because I look at it like, you don't know what that woman probably did to that man, or what that man, like, she recorded, so we can't judge. But what I'm saying, as a man, I probably would've, okay, I don't gotta bring them kids now, but if I know the kids was there and it being like, alright, I ain't know the kids, but if she asking, oh, I'm gonna bring something there, but I mean, he ain't have to,
me personally, I probably would've been like, alright, well, told my kid, like, when I get you, I'll get you McDonald's, but you gotta get some. I'm gonna get this pizza. Y'all something like that. Yeah. But the nigga's not obligated.
So everybody should have an opinion.
Yeah, like he's not obligated to do none of that shit. It's just that shit is weird. That shit is weird as hell. But that's why I'm glad I only got one baby mama. She get on my damn nerves, but she's one. But yeah, man. But what I was gonna say about that? It's just everybody weigh their opinions on shit, and I do feel like they always want to bash men on some shit. But women would be. I feel like men first would go and get all the kids some shit. A lot of women they be like, fuck yeah, fuck them kids. That's not my kid. I'm gonna get my baby this and
but a woman tagging out people, man. Like I feel like the way she was doing that and that, she was making them kind of pushing away. Like, hey, you ain't gonna do this and that. Like, I don't gotta do that. Like, and then like just be like,
and then you trying to bully me into it at that.
Like fuck it, just call somebody else, call them like like shit like that. That's what women like. That's what she lean towards and try to make them like the bad guy. But I look at it like you could have brought something over there to spite what they got going on or something.
Yeah.
That's all I seen in the video.
Y'all gotta remember, it's all the ways about them goddamn kids. Fuck all the petty shit. And kids know everything. Everybody be thinking kids be dumb. They don't see kids see every goddamn thing, bro. Everything. My son be telling me some shit. He be telling me like, yo. Like, how old are you? How do you know that this shit be going on? Like,
he really got real emotion. I remember me 8 years old having emotions, and when I look at my kids, I try to like keep that in my mind and be like, all right, be more open.
Yeah,
instead of blocking them out and thinking like he's just kids.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely gotta listen to their ass. I be trying to do that too. And instead of seeing where, like, I try not to compare my son to me because it's like, all right, he's his own person. Like, you gotta see what's great about him. You can't see what you expected, or you know what I mean. Like,
right.
'Cause I know I'm damn sure now what my parents expected. So like, what the fuck? Right. But they should still be fucking proud of me. Just like, you know what I mean. Like, and then a lot of that shit is parents' fault. Not all the way, because all parents did was fuck to become parents. You know what I mean? They ain't sit down and have a whole class like a driver license and then it's like, okay, here's your kid. You pass this fucking test. No, both niggas wanted to nut.
Right.
The woman probably ain't even come and then she still had the fucking baby. That ain't type of shit. So you know what I mean? Like, it's really no manual to that shit. Like, I mean, people just living. Shit happen. You just gotta make the best of it. You gotta always make sure that the kids come first and they don't get caught up in none of that shit. That's what I always tell my son. It's like, I don't know what's going on. Like, the other day, he told his mother what? He said something, and then I like, yo, you bro. Like, you said to me, I'm gonna drop kick your ass. And he's like, what? That's what I said. But then you hear her in the background, move! And I'm like, see, that's why she don't notice it, because she fucking rude too. Like, y'all just, I'm like, but me, I'm gonna drop kick your ass down them damn steps. Yeah. Cause that's not how you just supposed to talk to some goddamn body. And he laughing, but he know I'm serious about
my son know I should be chinning it up. Like, nah,
word.
It's like, no.
Like, you gotta be respectful to people. Cause when you beat their ass or you go crazy, you usually in the right. When you know, oh, that man don't bother nobody. That motherfucker is respectful at all times. Somebody had to do something to that man for him to go crazy like that. Like, that's how I am. I got a short ass temper, but it takes I learn how to control that shit. When I go crazy, people be shocked. Unless you know me, they be like, where the fuck did that come from? It's like, nah, I be chilling, I be trying, you know. Cause I really do feel like as men, as adults, period, everything should be able to be we agree or we disagree. Like, what do I really dislike you that much for that it gotta, like, every now and again they gotta scrap, then you gotta scrap. That's just, it just come to that. Niggas got testosterone and all that shit, but what the fuck do I really gotta harm you for at the end of the day? Unless you did some wild shit to me, like what the fuck? Serious. Right. It's enough. Somebody was telling me the other day, like, it's enough money out here for everybody. It really is, like, niggas just want to be on the top. It's like everybody on the top.
Everybody's gotta just know their purpose and just find their vein. Just understand shit don't come overnight. That's all.
Definitely. How you feel about speaking of overnight? This motherfucker is going to be going any night. Fucking R. Kelly. How you feel about him getting 30 years?
It's fucked up, man.
You think it's fucked up?
But now, I don't know if I don't know if he had a fair trial or not, so I ain't really gonna speak too much on that. But I'm like, damn, 30 years, I'm like, damn. But you know how women in the industry be like trying to slay niggas and shit. I'm not saying he innocent, or I'm not saying he guilty. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. That's fucked up to give him 30 years.
I just don't understand the younger girl aspect of shit. Cause I mean, like, I'm gonna be real. I'm not gonna say that. Like, even at my age, I had young girls approach me and they aggressive as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, it's not always no manipulative shit. And I'm just like, nah, you're too young. I will fuck your whole life up. I'm not fucking with you type shit. It's wrong type shit. But there are women who are, not to say that he's not a nasty fuck and he didn't take advantage of certain people, but you gotta look at the whole picture, both sides and stuff. People do, some parents sold. I mean, so.
But wasn't he caught? He wasn't in the video though. Like back in the day, he got caught with C.
With a young girl. I don't understand what.
And he was fucking with Aaliyah too.
Yeah. That's a whole nother. A lot of people was fucking with Aaliyah, and they don't mention that shit. That shit that got swept under the rug, like. Even Dame Dash said some shit about basically loving Aaliyah, but she was too young, and some shit like it was just that shit was weird.
He was I think he did have a relationship. I think he talked on it, like basically.
Yeah, Aaliyah was kind of, she was young and inside that fucking industry. That industry is a motherfucker, boy.
Really?
That's why I'd rather get my fan base and do what the fuck I do and let them. I don't want to be part of that shit.
Right, that's why I look at it like I feel like when it boils down to it, everybody purpose to make money too. But when you go too far with it and start doing shit outside, you're like when you be like, oh, this nigga doing weird shit to get to the top. What's your real purpose? Like it be niggas that really come up and really been lame their whole life, and they cross over quick as fuck for some couple of dollars.
YG and Tiger got a video where they dress as women. I don't know how that's going or what's the purpose in it or what the fuck. I guess I gotta see, but I can't do that shit. Even at comedy, I can't. Like, if I was a comedian, I'm not a comedian, so I can't say. But like, some comedians might be like whatever it takes to get the laugh or whatever, but I just can't see me.
Yeah, cause it turned into an argument because a lot of people feel different about stuff like that. That's why I be like, sometimes I don't even bother to even argue, try to debate with it. Just be like, man, y'all, alright. It's a waste of time trying to get somebody to understand some shit.
Yeah, shit just we living in a weird ass time, man. Like there's people who I've gotten arguments with. Like people really act like they don't see that this time is weird as fuck. Like how do you change a minute and then just be like, nah, women, your choice isn't yours anymore. Like how the fuck? And then there's people who that shit is wild. Whether first of all, so it goes down to layers. Like so there's the religious standpoint of it where they say that okay, abortion is bad, and they are to an extent. But I don't feel like God is saying, okay, this person did this and they're going to hell automatically. You get what I'm saying? And he's a person, he's the God that made free will, and you pay for your shit along the way and you learn from your mistakes. So I don't think that necessarily like I don't think that he's against them banning it, but I don't think that in his name that's taking away free will in a kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you can't, and outside of the religious aspect of it, you're supposed to separate church from state, and so people supposed to be able to do what they're supposed to, whatever they want to do besides whatever religion. Everybody doesn't believe in this same God, and to say that this person that was attacked or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Trying to watch my words because he's algorithm. Right. But I mean, it's just weird. But what's next? If you could take that shit away, what the fuck can they do next?
A lot, man. For real, it's crazy.
If you really like that, I don't really think people really understand. Like, I see people going back and forth making jokes and shit about, but do you really understand the implications of the rights that they just took away from somebody?
For real.
Or of people. Like, if they can do that, they can reverse so much other shit.
I thought some shit they said they gave it into the I seen something on the article about that, like far as the abortion, they said that it was gonna leave it up to the states to make that decision. Like it wasn't going, so it's gonna be a few states. That's why I heard some shit. They said somebody they gotta drive like 6 hours to go out to go get abortions right now. So
it's retarded.
I feel that shit just make a lot of stuff worse. I look at it like I feel like everything happened for a reason. So how you live your life is how you live your life. I look at it like I believe in shit like that to that extent. To be like, all right, whatever decision you made, it was meant to happen. So it's just like I don't judge nobody on the decision they make if they wasn't ready for a baby. So you know, like I feel like we all sin. So just be like we all sin in different ways.
Yeah, I'm a morbid ass person though. Anyway, I really feel like in this day and age, I don't feel like this. Like, what are we bringing these babies into? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm glad my son is 10, so like, he's still gonna get a whole bunch of bullshit, but at least he old enough to be like, you know what I mean? Nah, they changing everything.
That's why I be like, cause my youngest, she about to be 1, July 2nd, and it's just like I think about that shit every day. Like when my kids is younger, so the only thing I try to do is like let them be kids, but like keep it real with them too. Like I'm not fabricating nothing with them. Any question they got, I tell them. Whether they don't want to hear it or not, they ask me. Tell them.
Word, fucking. That's how I always am too. I'm that uncle and I'm that father. It's like I ain't gonna hide that because they know. Like they basically know. Kids are really just looking for explanations and understanding. They ain't trying. It ain't like. They like this and they asking you to take this. They already see some shit. They just don't know clearly exactly what the fuck they looking at. So it's up to you. Like my son told me yesterday, he like, yeah, daddy, I know how to use a lighter. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like why? And then he's like, oh, I was lighting fireworks and but it's just like, what?
Right.
Like, Well, it's like be careful because you know fire. Like I can't really do too much, but it's just like you got you know how to do that now. So that's something that creates another
Right.
access to all kinds of trouble.
on them and all that.
And I used to fucking set shit on fire when I was younger. So it's just like
Right.
you know,
It's like we did mad shit when we was younger, but I want the kids to do half of the shit we did. We'd be like, oh.
I think the kids are dumber than we was. I don't want to say that. A lot of kids are smart, but they just don't have no goddamn common sense now, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck be going on. That's what it really be. It's like intelligence without common sense. It make you do stupid shit. Cause you smart, but you just don't know how to deal with that shit.
What you just switch you around, honestly.
Or just passing. That's why it's about breaking generational curses,
Facts.
building generational wealth, all that type of
That
shit.
should be everybody's main focus. Breaking the generational curse and just thinking more so about your life and what you're doing in the next 5 to 10 years. Because as I grow up, right now I feel like time. I look at it like years. Like I set goals and be like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and I expect to see results in 6 months with this, a year with this. Start planning ahead, and we start thinking more so like that. Getting shit organized, and it's like facing the reality of life and understanding that you gotta take losses and you gotta take sacrifices and really go out for it. And then everybody, motherfuckers will be against you, but you just gotta like don't see your vision. But if you believe in your shit, your vision, and you see it, it shouldn't matter what nobody else think.
That's a whole fact. Everybody ain't gonna support your shit, but we was kind of talking about that shit earlier. Like everybody, like some people wanting somebody that they can piggyback off of,
Like entitlement, like shit like that.
I hate that shit. I hate people that don't want to put in the work. Like how people, like I say this all the time. People will be like, "Oh, yo, Streetz, when you go to the studio, hit me up. I want to go." Da da da. Da. Like, did you write anything? Did you have a song? Did you know what I mean? Or do you expect me to have all of this shit? Like, do you do anything else? My dream is that everybody that wants to be in the fold, I can call, yo, where you at? Oh, I'm at the studio, I'm doing it, like, do the shit on your own. Like, people always telling me, I don't know what to do. I'm like, you do the same fucking thing. I buy a beat, or I find a beat, or however I fucking acquire the beat. I find the engineer. I pay that studio time, because even if I was trash, they still have to sit there for that time to give that feedback, and then they mix that shit down, and then I get the fucking song. And then like I study how to upload shit to CD Baby.
Put in the time, time for that shit, and a lot of people don't understand that. For real, because it was just more so like a lot of people you're right, they want shit handed to them.
Like I'm getting too old for that shit now. Like I'm scared. Like I don't know how much longer I got before I can make this shit. And I'm trying to teach you and do all this. I can't do that shit.
But I believe, dude, that's why I was like talking about some stuff. Like I said, I believe like about 90 to 95% of the people, rappers in the town won't make it, because this is how you explained it. Like it was like a lot of rappers in the town look at everybody that's rapping and expect to be there and be like, oh, I'm gonna put this, but not understanding like these rappers making like 20, 50 songs a day, like, or even 20 songs, probably like 10 to 20 songs. Like these niggas is working. So even like I got a studio, so I could record like 2 songs a week, or be like, but I have a little catalog, and if I'm doing it part time, making more songs than niggas that saying they want it bad, what do that say about their work ethic? So I look at it like, that's why I say from that point of view, like a lot of people won't make it because they really don't understand the work you gotta put into it. Right. That's why I'm like, I'm not gonna say I'm a rapper. Like I'm not rapping right now. Like if you win it, you win it. You gotta be in that shit, because it's not a lot of people it's a lot of people in the studio right now that's making 5 to 10 songs a day. Like local artists that got like niggas got following subscribers, so it's a lot. Like you gotta really be consistent with it. So that's why I say a lot of artists don't got it, and if they is talented, it's always like something like, oh, they talented, but they not. That's not them, or they don't got that umph to them. So it's just like I don't know. I feel like when people start looking at the reality of it, I feel like niggas will start going, or not like rappers are like, I guess they call it, these rappers will start going further, getting further with this shit. It's just like nothing happened overnight, and it is not. I'm not offending nobody. Just gotta put the work in.
Like you gotta have your ass caps and your BMIs, and it's like it's all kind of shit. Like you just gotta study. But in my defense, I mean, in their defense, I was younger. I was always in love with music. Like I wasn't really a student. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I I had a musical ability, and I made like the people around me, I absorbed that shit, and I liked who I liked, and I absorbed from that shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I got older that I start expanding and listening to everything and studying the history and learning. But that shit help you. You know where that shit came from. You appreciate this shit a whole different way.
Like, I feel like a few people understand it because I feel like you really gotta put. When I say like it's not offending nobody, but it just be like more so like it's like the reality of it. Like is you gonna do what it takes? Like, and then a lot of people will be like, I don't got a studio, I don't got this and that, but make it happen because somebody else gonna make it happen too. Like you want something, you make it happen. It ain't no excuses. Like it's I could do it, you could do it. So it's just like that. I don't want to like people be like it'd be hard to get in the studio or I can't do this and that. Stopping you. Only person stopping you is yourself.
I'm gonna tell you literally. So last year I moved back from Georgia, and people would say, well, you're Streetz or whatever, so you know people, whatever. No. So I didn't have a studio. I ain't know where CK was. I think I reached out to him, and I think we were supposed to do something, but we missed each other somehow. And that's who always, was going to. So I'm like, all right. I always wanted to try Subcap. I went with other people, so I'm like, all right. I went to Subcap on Facebook, and then I found the artist, which ended up being Furco, like somebody that the engineer there, and then I went and I hit him up, and we built the relationship off of that. Like he don't engineer no more now, but that's what it did. It wasn't off of my name. He didn't know who I was ahead of time. He didn't know what I mean. It was just like, okay, I went and found this man because this is what I say I want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, instead of just being as, oh, I rap and I do. No, you gotta do that shit because there's too many people doing this shit, especially now. When I was younger, was a million people doing it. Now,
yeah, it's a new artist every day.
Yeah, you
like,
can put music up like this. It ain't, you got way too much competition now. It's just, and it's harder. I feel like it's harder when you really got some shit to talk about. When you really nice, that shit.
For real, it really is. Just like, it is a lot. That's why I said the game just come with a lot nowadays. And I feel like you just gotta believe in yourself. Like people just gotta believe in themselves and really just like I feel like to the point where if a nigga out here trapping and he's saying he really wanna be a rapper, if you really believe in yourself, go buy some equipment with that shit. Spend your last on that and know that you're gonna make that believe in it. Like yo, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna do that because on some real shit. Like cause it was like 3 years ago. When I was living down the way before I moved out there in North Syracuse and all that. You know. I was kind of like down there doing shit, but when I moved, I told myself I was gonna let that shit, I was gonna let it manifest. I wasn't gonna go back to certain stuff. So I took losses. Like I invested in equipment. I got my stuff, my camera equipment, got everything. Like yo, I'm gonna learn how to engineer. I'm gonna learn how to shoot videos and then get the business side of it. And I'm I'm working under the radar, but I really seeing the results. Like, and that's what like that little spark like that. That's the first time I ever did something and stuck with it and really seeing results and seeing like. How I could talk about certain shit with like videography to somebody asking me questions, I can answer questions, show me like, damn, I'm really learning this shit, I'm really doing it, and it's just like, that gave me that spark to even be like, all right, now I know, like now I could come back to music, I can't front the drill shit, hearing them beats like got me want to do a couple freestyle, like get fuck on these shits, but I don't really see me taking music that serious, but like I said, I just want to like help out, like far as help out the youth, like be that and being like, all right. If a nigga nice, this and that, I can get you in the studio. Man, bam, shoot videos, like, pay that way, shit like that. And I got kids that's coming up that like music too, so I be bringing them to the studio. They be doing their little thing, letting them freestyle.
Get on your Joe Jackson. You better hit that spin.
They don't even know they about to be locked in the studio for like 14 hours. They gonna come in one day, see food and water. Like, yeah, I ass in the studio all day. Like,
ain't no outside.
Like, no, I don't want to sing no more. Nope. It's like, nah, I ain't gonna be on nothing like that.
But that's what, everybody can say what they want about Joe Jackson, about Selena Father, and about, it was another one I can't think of right now.
They say Joe Jackson was doing some crazy shit though. I think not like the Serena's father, but Joe Jackson.
I don't think Joe was really that bad. Like, it was little shit, like he did take away their childhood, but I don't really think it was like if he really did beat them because their spinner was wrong, then that was fucked up.
Nah, they talking about how he used to get raped before going on stage and shit. Like, they was talking about shit like that. I'm like,
how they used to do what?
They used to get raped before performing and I heard shit like that. Like, I don't know if it's true, but it was just like I said, that shit, I don't know.
I don't know about that. That's some
You
crazy
used to
shit.
get touched from that little, I don't even.
I know they was in places that they shouldn't have been mad young, like there was strippers and shit that was around when they was performing in nightclubs. But that's one thing, like, can you imagine, like, I do wish that I was a child star, kind of, just to see that shit, like, you know what I mean, like, just be famous your whole life, yeah.
Cause I feel like as a kid, you just dream, so it just be like, that's every kid's dream, to be like, oh, have a million fans, like, performing, having, like, cause my daughter, she like a little superstar, for real. No, she like stuff like that. They all just, I want 1 million subscribers. I'm like, you know what it take to get 1 million subscribers? That take a lot of work. It's a lot of people that's putting in work that ain't even touching 1 million subscribers yet. Let alone 10,000 subscribers. It's hard. Like I said, it's a whole different. And she like the editing shit. She be doing a little editing on her phone. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, she on her way already.
Yeah, 9 years old.
Hell yeah. Word to me, man, that internet shit came and took over everything. I remember back. Having CDs on you and shit, selling CDs, knowing exactly how much. Like, alright, if I sell this much, I'm gonna have this.
I'm like, me and DJ Mel, I'm about to come out with a little mixtape just because I'm just like, I'm asking Mel, like, yo, Mel, shit, CDs, like, I don't want to, I should do CDs. I don't like, he like, you can do CDs. I'm like, people still buy CDs. He like, yeah. He like, but you can do the thumb drives. I'm like, that's a good way to do it. Like, sell the thumb drives too. Like, probably like, $10. He said you can get them forgot the price. For the low, they ain't that cheap, but you get them for the low.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different ways to do these shits. I know it was, I know last season, they was talking about, he was saying something about him, it was like direct, like, basically like Dropbox, like you cash out them and then Dropbox the shit to you, type shit, and then you download it.
Who you talking about?
Tim Aaron McVeigh?
Nah. It's somebody, they do that? They kind of...
Yeah, he said it was working for him. This is last year though. This is like during COVID type shit.
Oh hell yeah! Like I was out here with COVID too. I was doing a little Instacart shit, like the GoPush. I was out here doing that with the. I wasn't letting nothing stop me from making. Everybody was in the house. I'm doing everything to make money. I'm like shit. I ain't selling drugs around this time. Gotta make money. I ain't working. I ain't got a 9 to 5. Yeah.
So besides the thing with DJ Mel, you don't got anything? Like what you doing in the future? What you got?
Basically, I'm taking I'm trying to take these courses right now. Honestly, I want to get into short movie films. So basically, that's where I'm really trying to focus on. So I'm doing like I ain't really doing too much music videos right now. So it's just more so like I'm kind of trying to make it a private thing because I know a lot of people see my work, they reaching out and it's just like it ain't no funny shit, but it's just like nah, I'd rather work because dealing with people like when you don't got your shit together, people look at you like you unprofessional. So they won't take you serious. They be like, oh, do this and that. And you like, nah, it don't work. But you don't got you ain't legit. You ain't got this yet. They quick to throw that in there. So they be like, you know what? I'm falling back. I'm gonna get my shit right. And then that's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be at that price. I'm standing on it, and that's that.
Right.
But yeah, I want to get into that. And that's why I was gonna reach out to you about. So you might get into this little series. I'm trying to think, gotta write some shit out right now. But I really that's what I'm really doing the courses for. But as far as the music go, I can see me drop. I feel like when I'm at a better place right now, I'm trying to grind right now. I feel like when the money come in enough and I'm in a country, I feel like that's when I make my best music. But I can't even cap. I was just feeling good. I was in the booth locked in for. That's why I was able to make this mixtape because I was just feeling good going in there. But I'm like, damn. So let me get the fuck up. I ain't making no money. Shit, I just see me spending money like all this. Like, I'm just feeling like thinking it's just, it's all good, shits and giggles and stew. I'm like, nah. I gotta grind. That's why I'm gonna stay like this for a little minute until I feel get some more music. Then.
Right, I gotta figure out where. Cause my thing is I've been doing stuff the wrong way for mad long, and then I just figured out the right way to start doing it. But I got so much shit that's like didn't get squeezed to its ultimate potential. So I'm like, but I'm in a different place creatively. So it's like, do I steam forward with the new shit or do I go back with all the old shit and try to make this shit work? Before I let you go, Charlie, you roaming all over the place. To you, what constitutes a man for you? What is your definition of a man?
Somebody that, I don't know, they stand on their principles and morals and put the ones they love first. You know what I'm saying? And secure the bag and provide and lead. Shit.
Okay, real quick, simple. If there was, where would you live if money wasn't the object?
I don't even know, honestly. I feel like I kind of like the 4 seasons out here because I feel like I'm not uncomfortable, but I could see me have a different crib. Like, oh, I got like a summer house out here, this and that. But I feel like I'm always find a place somewhere upstate New York, like somewhere in the cuts that nobody don't know about in the country, somewhere lit, low.
Do you got a place you want to visit that's out of the country?
I thought about Egypt. Some thinking about Egypt and Africa. Like, I don't know, just a lot, yeah. Places I will go visit. Cause I'm always in the animal planet, but Egypt was like, I feel like where shit come, like you see all them fucking pyramids and stuff, you be like, I'm attracted to shit like that. I like sci-fi shit, where, you know.
Man, or if I like sci-fi shit too. So, last question I'm gonna ask you is, if you had an unlimited budget, to make one project, who would you feature and what production would you use?
If I think money wise, so I'll probably the first person I'll probably hit Dr. Dre up. If it's unlimited, you gotta go with the bigger art, like I'm good.
So I don't need no features.
Facts.
Yeah, give me a Dr. Dre beat. No, they say Dr. Dre don't even make beats no more. He just got a team around him that do that shit.
Yeah, whatever his team is, I'm like, shit, I'll get all the top beats just off his, like, beats by Dre, that's giving my shit buzz right there.
I would say that I would pick Kanye out of every producer, but I feel like Kanye would take my shit and change it all up and then put it out
right.
Way different than what it was.
It seemed like he did all of that. What was he need to put?
I'm saying, like,
Niggas beefing with Kanye right now.
Nah, who you think would be your top producer?
Eric R. Elliott from the Flatbush Zombies. That nigga is nice.
What beats he produced?
Yeah, he pretty much be producing for them, but he produced a couple of hits for like low key. Like even Kirk Knight, like it be random niggas that produce big ass tracks. Like he produced that track for Nicki Minaj, and I fuck with him too. The New York niggas.
I don't sleep on Tyler either. I feel like Tyler just got his own. He got his own type of shit that he like to make, but I feel like he's not limited. If you sit down and talk to that nigga Tyler,
he's just gonna throw a bridge somewhere in any song that he make with you. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I be loving like. That's why one day I want to make a concept album because it's like I do want to see where, like basically like Jay-Z, American Gangster and shit, like just telling somebody else's story.
Facts.
But I gotta have
you know who else is a dope producer? Yeah, you heard of Kenny Beats? That's probably.
There's somebody that be making fire ass beats, Metro Boomin. That
So I don't know where the beats. That's my problem now when I pick beats is because I don't know exactly where shit going. It's like they got the drill shit and they got the auto-tune type shit, and then it's like okay. Then there was a little shit that separated because the baby would give you that bounce type shit. That's the type of shit that I was trying to lean more towards, but I don't know. Even his ass that got quiet. Now it's the fucking auto-tune and the drill shit still. And I don't know. Before we go, I'm glad I thought about that. How do you feel about them trying to use lyrics to incriminate artists? Even though the drill artists have been fucking taking it too far and telling on themselves. We'd be like, yeah, I rolled up, shot you, got out of there. The niggas be like, yeah, we was on Salina in the blue Buick.
They put themselves in that situation. They put themselves in that situation because they know what the Fed job is. You know what I'm saying? Just be like, But you know, and then again, it's fucked up. They target the black artists, and I feel like just from everything, the higher, you know, all that shit playing, you know, it's like a cycle, man.
Yeah, it's fucked up how they use that shit on Young Thug too. Young Thug might be going down. I just seen some shit earlier. And it's like some tap phone calls and that shit. It's like if you hear the shit, like this nigga's a monster out here organizing shit.
I just feel like, man, like shit, you get your money, stay out the way. You know what I'm just saying? You gotta stay dangerous, but in your own way. I look at it like, but you know how like a lot of people live this life, and it just sometimes there ain't no turning back. It's just like,
that shit is slow, man. Niggas be making money, but niggas really, especially now, the street's so damn dried up, bro. It's just like, what is, like...
There ain't nothing. If you ain't know, I look at it like, I tell niggas now, I look at, man, I ain't no millionaire, I ain't making $1 million out these streets, it ain't work for me. This what I wanted to do, and I would've did that when I was young. Now it's time for me to try something new. Like, it's like, you know, the more, like, I grow with my kids, the more I be cautious about shit in my decisions I make.
Cause that shit, man, you just be a whole bunch of headaches. Fucking licks, just bag and bag and bag.
Yeah. I fed up with that shit, man. Yeah, it feel good not have to worry about certain shit, like, cause you ain't do it, you know, you do it. Look over your back. You still gotta watch your back, cause a lot of shit crazy, a lot of crazy shit still going on in the world. But I'm just saying, like, when you
people hate so much, that's what's real. That's what's right now. That's the drug. That's motherfucker addicted to just hating on motherfuckers. And I can't see me hate. I don't give a fuck what the next man got. That ain't got shit to do with me. That's that man path.
I feel like niggas should take it as motivation when they see that. It's just like how they like how we talk about. You see somebody like we see somebody music video, niggas going crazy, oh nigga, night the cars and be like, oh shit. Like you look at that and be like, yo, that's motivation. Like it should push you and be like, I'm gonna get that too. Like shit. You just look at it like why hate? Like I look at it. I'd rather see everybody eat because I know I'm gonna be good. Like oh, we all gonna meet at the top. Like
that's how I always felt like when I used to ask people about industry women when I was younger, and like all the time they'd be like, well, I'm never gonna meet her, and I'm like, in my mind, this bitch do the same thing I do, just on a higher level. So it's like it's not impossible. If I was in that light, you know what I mean? They know it ain't impossible. Then I can talk to this person. You know what I'm saying? Like I got the same amount of money. I got the But people, let me close this by saying people really do push their limitations on you, and that's something that you can't let hang on you.
right.
Because people be like, oh, I couldn't do this, so this motherfucker couldn't do this, or this sound crazy because I don't understand what this person doing.
Right.
And unintentionally, people do that. Sometimes it's not even personal. That's why whenever I see somebody that's a naysayer and just be like, well, you haven't seen the shit that I can do, huh? Right. You must not have seen me work this magic that I'm fucking working.
You see the vision most of the time.
When you see me take this and turn it to this motherfucker, you just think it's like this, and it's like, no, that's me making the impossible happen that you too scared to go out and fucking do.
Yeah.
So it's just always. Oh, I guess how I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna say, always be prepared, because you never fucking know when something can happen or something can be there to benefit you. And even though you have the talent, if you ain't prepared for that shit, you can completely miss that shit.
Facts.
Go for that shit, regardless what the fuck people say. Your circle is always gonna keep you in the circle and keep you fucking trapped. Because even if they do believe in you, they see you do the amazing shit that you do on a daily basis, and again, eventually that shit gets normal to them. So you can't take that as, a weight. It's just, okay, they're used to that shit.
Right.
Expand your circle, but not too motherfucking wide, because everybody ain't good for that shit. Just gotta filter, go with your gut. I go with my damn gut. I go with my gut like a motherfucker. You can like somebody telling me the truth. If this shit saying that motherfucker lying and something, I don't care what you say.
Right or wrong shit. Let me be wrong shit. If I was like, gotta go with your gut.
Yeah, always. But thank you, brother, for coming and saying we're gonna chop it up. Me and him gonna have some music on the way.
You know, new shit coming. Yeah.
Anything you wanna say to the people before we close out?
oh no, like how you said, nobody ain't gonna like shit. Nobody ain't gonna see your vision. And then you be like, when I said about that 90-95%, one thing you can either do, you can take that as me say I'm hating, whatever, or you can take that as motivation and be that other 5% that make it out the time.
That's a fact. Because, to add on to piggyback on that, because a lot of the town is doing it for the fucking town, and that's where the fuck you gonna stay by doing it though.
Right. But shit, my journey ain't over our shit. That's why I said I was just working under the radar. I'd rather just do more, say less. For real.
That's it. We out of here.